These doctors and an MOA are going to tell you about the soon-to-be-launched mental health module. They have participated in the startup and early testing of this comprehensive program to help BC's family doctors work with their patients.
The system as it is geared, the psychiatrists are great, but they're geared for these, really complicated acute problems. And then we have, no problems at all. And then there's us in between dealing with just about everything. And if we don't deal with some of these problems, who is going to do it?
It's just an enormous shift for me in how I feel about working with people with mental health illnesses.
If you thought you were dealing with psychiatric issues well before this module, you'll realize that you can do a much better job once you've done the module.
People come in, you can see an anxious face, you don't necessarily try and categorize them, but you make a choice. Is this person qualified to do a PHQ-9? It's been good just coming alongside people, knowing that you can reach out and be a bit more compassionate to them.
I was blown away with the diagnostic screening interview. I don't know if anybody else had that experience, but
identical.
The amount of information that people shared with me that they said they'd never told another GP or that they'd never told anybody before.
What I uncovered was problems people were living with that they didn't have to live with.
I had one lady that was a 46-year-old housewife that was being housebound and getting panic attacks when she went out. And I found out that at 12 years old, she'd been jumped by a couple of classmates and assaulted.
I uncovered bipolar disorder. I uncovered an incredible amount of personal trauma that I had been unaware of.
The thought when I got given these big manuals was, what the heck am I going to do with all this stuff? And it just works so well to be able to put it on your computer and have access with the patient sitting beside me, watching the screen, looking at what I was doing, working collaboratively.
On the computer, just being able to hover the mouse from one point to another and know exactly where to go through the flow chart is outstanding.
So it's like one of those aha things. I said, this is easy. What's so hard? Just follow the button. That's all you gotta do.
I think that as a person working in a paper-based office at the moment, I appreciate that the EMR is going to be wonderful, but it is possible to make it work really well, even if you have to pull out the pieces of paper. And I think Andre and his office and his wonderful MOA have been able to make that happen just as it did in mine. We did almost exactly the same things independently of each other, which I think is kind of interesting.
I'm still learning in many ways how to use some of these tools effectively, and I'm choosing the ones that I am really comfortable with, but I'm excited about the results I'm seeing so far.
Here we have this jewel of a collection of wonderful, innovative techniques that are so powerful.
When we talk about our patients being empowered, how we feel empowered, not only with being able to have this material that helps our patients, but there's material that helps us structure our interviews, helps us terminate our interviews, which is wonderful.
The response I've been getting from the patients has been so positive. People sit and say, wow, thank you for helping me with this in a different way. This is so different. I love this process. It's so empowering to me, making me feel different.
What do you do when everything's been done and the patient still has the problem? And all of a sudden, for psychiatry, we have all these tools we can use. And we should also mention that when you do find a problem, you're not on your own. We have all these support services available to us. We have this Bounce Back BC. We have that antidepressant skills work manual. We have that DVD on depression.
CBiz
tools, all kinds of things, things we can offer our patients, things like breathing exercises, relaxation exercises, organizing yourself exercises, Me Too exercise, Me First, all those things that really adds to more than just taking medicine.
When you get comfortable with this stuff, you have that patient that's coming into the office absolutely vibrating, bursts into tears, talks about all the stress and anxiety that's going on in their lives. You can pull out your little abdominal breathing, hand it that.
The brilliance of these tools is their broad spectrum of applicability within our practices.
And not just from the CBIS manual, but my experience with the Bounce Back program and the ASW, Antidepressant Skills Workbook,
They are so simple to use. The organization of the books. You can do this in a brief session as you become familiar with them, and they're immensely powerful.
And we keep mentioning time. Timely and time spent. And I think that was the biggest concern that people had from the first session we're at, is that, oh my God, this is going to take so much of our time. I think of how many years I spent time flying by the seat of my pants, not knowing what I was doing in interview and allowing patient contacts to go on far longer than they needed to, that now I have this structure of something that I can do that's going to save me time, tons of time.
Should we mention the business plan associated with this?
Oh, I think it's so important.
Because when you do that mental health care plan template, there is a special fee for that. You are rewarded for the time you spent.
Doing your job, you're doing it better.
Yeah,
you're getting
better.
more job satisfaction out of
Yeah.
it. The patients are getting satisfied, and we're getting paid for the stuff we were already doing.
Now I feel, wow, I'm being acknowledged that what I'm doing is worthwhile.
It finally being recognized for doing what we've been doing for years. We're general practitioners, and general practice does most of psychiatry. Was it 8 to 1?
6 to 1.
6 to 1 is huge.
I found that this course has been probably one of the milestones in my medical career, one of the most practical things that I've ever done as it applies to my practice and my patients. And I hope that you'll find this course equally as invigorating and rewarding both to you and to your patients as I found for mine.